Inflation rose in January by 0.5%, following a 0.1 increase in December, according to the Consumer Price Index report released Tuesday. The CPI was up 6.4% from the same period in 2022. Both numbers were higher than expected. Across the board, increases in shelter, food, and energy boosted the index after inflation had showed signs of receding in recent months. Quote-unquote super core services inflation, which is key for the Fed and excludes food, energy, and shelter, rose 0.2% for the month and was 4% higher than a year ago. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a lot of stuff to go over, so stay till the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. Also, all I ask is free. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. So CPI data came out, expected 6.2, came out 6.4. We did not get the best news, but again, bad news is good news in this type of market. The SPY is sitting at 412.55, slightly red on the day, kind of trading sideways here, still sitting in this channel. It got a beautiful bounce off of this parallel channel, and in my opinion, the SPY is trading between levels. It has to come up to 424 or it has to break below 400. Those are big levels, and we're sitting smack dab in the middle at 412. As for AMC, we have a lot of interesting stuff to go over. So first of all, we're looking at a small gap fill all the way down to about $4.11 or somewhere in that zone at 407. AMC broke back into the descending resistance. Every move so far is invalidated on AMC, which leads me to say that we are coming down to fill that gap at around 407, and then we also may test the relative lows at 382 prior to the annual meeting. Now, only one of these cycles, which we just got in this zone, right, this white zone, let me show you. This white zone, every time in the cycle, usually has a major peak in this time frame, and we have finally just entered this box. Now, it only played out inverse one time, and this is exactly what the inverse cycle would look like if AMC does to end up playing out inverse. With that being said, you get a pop right around that gap fill, come back up to about $5.30 before retracing back down and testing a new low on AMC. This is bearish case scenario. However, if the SPY does decide it wants to rip, I think it's going to invalidate both of the bearish setups on AMC right now. However, we did not get the best news, and I think people are going to await the next Fed meeting, the next FOMC meeting, to see how hawkish or dovish they are really going to go. Now, just a couple stocks I have put up here that I wanted to touch on. Palantir, PLTR, just had its first positive earnings. I just bought calls on this. I'm willing to lose. It's kind of just a risky play. Hood, I added to my puts on there, but I also took profits on some. Bed Bath & Beyond, I still hold my calls on there. And a special ticker symbol that you can put on your radar, shout out to JIG on Discord, ticker symbol AULT. He thinks major catalysts are coming for this stock going forward. GameStop has gotten two little hammer candles slash spring candles and is basing off of this second trend line, the second support trend line that we have right here, right around 19 bucks. Next spot we want GameStop to break back over is $21. Hopefully we don't get a rejection there, but overall GameStop's holding up a little bit more well than AMC is. Touching on some AMC numbers, short interest actually rose 23.17%. Utilization is maxed out on AMC. The cost to borrow average is at 647%. So the average randomly doubled. These shorts are paying 6 times their position to borrow these stock, and a lot of retailers getting offered on Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, and other platforms like that to lend out their shares for a very, very solid income. The max sitting just under 1,000%, and the minimum, which means at least one short seller is paying this low of a fee, but no lower than this, is paying more than 3.5 times his position at 358%. As for APE, 7% short interest, utilization at 88%, and the cost to borrow still sitting kind of low at around 9%. AMC sitting at 0 shares available to borrow according to Stonko Tracker, 5,000 calls compared to 140,000 puts, so we are getting slaughtered on the options chain, and the short exempts actually lowered a little bit, but the short percentage got higher, 68.8%, so almost 70% being reported over here on Stonko Tracker for AMC short percentage. Now, we already went over Bank of America and Bank of Montreal, these quote-unquote glitches, actual 13F filings of AMC showing up at 4,080 a share, then 4,070 a share as well, and we are getting more and more glitches right now. You see it happening. Credit Suisse is valuing AMC shares in their position over 4K a share, as well as Charles Schwab investment. You can't make this shit up. The recent thumbnails have not been clickbait at all. These are legit 13F filings from legit big banks. Speaking of that, Ray Dalio's hedge fund nearly tripled its GameStop and AMC bets last quarter, while Bill Miller dumped Bed Bath & Beyond stock. Why they had to add Bill Miller dumping Bed Bath & Beyond is beyond me, no pun intended, but this article showing Ray Dalio tripled his position in GameStop and AMC is very important, because you might be saying, oh, well, well, he's going to lend out his shares. Or, since it's Ray Dalio, it seems as if he believes AMC will start going positive in 2023. Two things to speculate. Quick, 3 huge dark pool prints today. It was thought that Antera made a deal with someone else selling their shares off to. Antera is forgiving AMC's debt in exchange for the waiver. Who could the other entity be? Why make the deal? This is wildly bullish, and you can see the buy order right here, 1.5 million at $2.42 on APE. But what's weird is that Antera actually has a load of puts on AMC. So they're holding APE, they're forgiving AMC's debt in exchange for the waiver while they short AMC. Interesting play here. Speaking of the interesting play, the conversion and the reverse split is coming up on March 14th, and people are finally receiving their proxies in the mail. You guys let me know down below if you received yours and what you're voting. According to Stock Tracker, Bed Bath & Beyond has 0 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 184%, and the calls to puts are getting slaughtered as well on the option chain, 3,000 to 182,000. Short exempts absolutely loaded up at 2.26 million. And this is something to pay attention to because Bed Bath & Beyond has loaded up with short exempts, but they are dropping the cost to borrow somehow lately. It was at 350, then 250, now 180 as the price continues to drop. I think the price getting lower and lower makes it less risky to borrow against the stock. According to Stock Tracker on GameStop, 400,000 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 15.9%. Again, a drop in the cost to borrow, and we are getting slaughtered on the option chain, as well as short exempts sitting around that mid-range for GameStop based off of the volume that it actually trades. So overall, bears are winning as of right now. We got slightly bearish news on the SPY. All it takes is a little bit of the S&P 500 holding a high price or ripping for short sellers to be absolutely screwed, because remember, it rose 3 to 4% and they lost 81 billion, and you saw a ton of small caps start to fly, and now it's kind of in this zone where there's a huge level of neutrality and uncertainty saying what's going to happen with the market going forward. Is it really time? We're still in this random landing zone where what is the Fed going to do? Is the market going to crash and burn, or are we going to enter back into a bull market? Now, real quick, billionaire John Paulson says the US dollar's devaluation will drive gold up considerably this year, and he also says that gold is likely to continue to appreciate in value over the next 3 to 5 years. Speaking of gold, Robert Kiyosaki, if I pronounced that wrong, whatever, warns a giant crash incoming. The time to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin is now, even though Bitcoin just had a death cross. What do you guys think about this down below? Are you buying Bitcoin? Finally, PLTR just reported its first profitable quarter ever and expects 2023 to be the first profitable year in its history, which is exactly why I grabbed calls. YOLO play again. Finally, this is an image from Norfolk Southern NSC burning of vinyl chloride in East Palestine, Ohio. The train derailment happened 10 days ago despite near zero media coverage, and now there are traces of vinyl chloride found miles away. Now, this is happening in Ohio, and the news is not covering it. Not only that, but Ohio River, a water source for 10% of its US population, is contaminated with vinyl chloride, which is a deadly chemical. And even worse than them not covering up, the $55 billion company has offered the town 25 grand or $5 a person for the accident, which is absolutely horrible. Overall, guys, this is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the video, and get 15 free stocks by hitting my link in the comments or the description to download Moomoo. Once you do that on your phone or computer and you deposit $1 in there, you will get up to 15 free stocks. Plus, it's an amazing platform, easy to use, FDIC insured, gives you access to free level 2 order book data, trading options, going long, going short, and more. I love you all. Lottery stocks out. Also, guys, make sure to pop in the Discord linked in the description.